Not Flint. That old man, maybe.
I don't really trust anyone.
But see, then, if the old man trusts him, would that then lead you to trust him?
I'm thinking of the old man as maybe a mentor, training him in the ways of his outlook.
I don't doubt his convictions, but I do doubt his ability to enact his plans.
Yeah, we never found an actual, like, what happens after
The question,
they
yeah,
take the town
real,
back.
The real question is how organized these
Who's
guys
to say
are.
that he's gonna just jump in the place of Lord Blackwood?
Or actually
That
have
too.
a plan at all.
Yeah, he just wants to
'Cause
usurp him.
What's
the
going to
people
happen
of that
once he
city
defeats
do need help. They desperately need help, but is this boy and
But a
his
sudden
band-
overtaking like that too
Yeah.
will throw the town in disarray as well.
I would say
The
if they
complete
could come to a
nothing.
mutual agreement, maybe that could benefit both
So-
sides.
So
I
then,
don't doubt that Blackwell shouldn't be where he is, but
and this is a person we've also not met personally.
And we
yeah,
haven't
that,
discussed
that's,
anything.
we've
with
only
Lord
heard
Blackwood.
the words of others. I don't. Is there some way we can maybe meet him before we Well, no, we can't go back in the town.
Not without Flint.
Well, I have an idea on that, but it would be.
Well, maybe the old man is
very-
really the knowledge in the group, and Flint's just kind of the energy.
I agree. We need a more
So-
in-depth conversation, getting the other side, and if they can't provide that, I really don't know if I can genuinely say we should trust them. Because again, this is still under the presumption that we're not officially here on guild business.
Do you
Yeah,
think
this
they
is not,
that
this is not
too?
what we signed up for.
Because that's
Do you
the other
think
thing.
they'd kill
is
Flint on sight?
No,
Well,
arrest him on sight.
would
He's-
they arrest him?
arrest him
alive.
on site.
So could we maybe parlay us bringing Flint into a meeting with Blackwood, and then
I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. It's Blackwell.
It's Blackwell, yeah.
Blackwell.
Oh, I thought it
and then that way we can meet him and see what's going on, and then if we feel like it, then we can try and bust Flint out.
That's a very big if, and
It's
I
a
don't-
huge
that,
if.
That's going to be a hard sell, at the very least. I know you're tons more convincing now, suddenly for some strange reason. But I feel like they're already kind of on edge about trusting us, and obviously the feeling is mutual.
You know,
True.
So
they're gearing up for war, so
yeah, this
I agree with you. We should try to find a way to do this with as little bloodshed as possible, but it doesn't seem like that's a possibility at
These
this
guys
point.
are ready to fight, but who's to say that they're gonna even? They might sell us out when we get there. Who
or
knows?
to even stand a chance. We've only run into a couple of guards, and they
What are their
fairly
quantity? What's their
competent,
quantity of fighters?
possibly.
Do we know?
well, we only see the approximate like 15 or so.
Yeah, that's
Here.
not enough.
And
This is
they-
maybe one camp. but I don't know.
supposedly though.
With us on their side,
the-
it could tip the scales, but do we want to side with
Well,
them?
I don't
that
know
much, though,
if that
against the
necessarily. It sounds like they have
Castle? Against the
the
kingdom?
favor of some people in town, but not necessarily. It
If-
might not be all of them.
Yeah, but if the people that they do have on their side see them fighting out in the open in the city, they might join the fray on the rebel side.
Yeah, maybe the
And-
city folk will actually join in. Maybe they've just been
I-
lying in wait.
I want to know at the end of this also that we're not only leaving it for the better, but we're also bettering our station, because I'm
Well, this place needs a guild station for sure.
Well, that's the other. That's
And it's
another
very
point.
legal.
That's another point that I want to actually talk to that old. Well, anybody who's informed.
He seems like
We
he
got
got
the impression that the guild head in town had either disappeared, is in alignment with Blackwell, whether that means something one way or the other. There's a whole lot of white space for me to genuinely say that I want to get involved.
I say we do this for the guild.
This old man, though, I feel
I guguess that's my first and foremost thing. Because if we're not in agreement on that, it's a no for me.
Because if getting Blackwell out then too leads to the reestablishment of the guild there.
Do we want to approach this situation any further as guild officials? Well, not officials, just as guild members, or not? Because we have to be aware that from this point forward, potentially even right now, any association with this group could damage that reputation for us in the guild proper.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling the old man's somehow connected to the guild.
Based on what?
How efficiently and definitively he handed me my ass.
Well, he could just be really,
Really good.
really a hard mamma jamma.
Well, he said what? He was a baker or some shit?
I don't know. I don't remember his background.
Might have
Yeah,
spoke that.
I don't know.
He
Seems like he knows more than...
He didn't tell you he was a baker. That was just my description of him. Like his look and his demeanor when he carries himself is a very warm kind of person. Even looking at him, you tell that.
He's some sort of something important.
In this regard, then, we'll find him.
I don't think we should act as guild officials.
So no on the guild officially as the guild. Yes as officially on the guild. Because it's already a split decision.
It's just the fact I don't feel right putting the guild's name behind something that they have no idea about.
I would like
kind of where I'm coming from too, but the guild is also the guild house in that town has been shut down for a long time.
And we'd be deceiving the guild.
And I would also like to know more about what happened to that guild official, because if it was something
wrong,
even remotely ill-willed towards the guild, I'll wear that thing right across my face. I'll go in blind. But I think we need to know more information from him, which I don't think we ever... Did we get his name, Wilson?
The guild
From
master guy?
No, the old man.
From the old man?
Older man, gentlemen.
Older guy,
No.
okay.
You heard to him referred to once as Ben.
Ben.
Adobe One.
Just to point this out too, you guys have no obligation to either side here. You decided to come to Arborsdale and they just happened to land in this mess. So not taking action for either side is also an option.
Yeah, we could just fuck off.
But I
don't feel right about that.
I don't feel right leaving the people to just suffer like this. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe we should discuss his plan. Let's dive into his plan, and maybe there'd be a situation for us to be outside of the city, helping out in any way we can, get people out of the city, so there's nobody.
I want to get the guild take on it. I want to know what happened there, because that's truly our one actual investment in this town. Is the guild hall is closed. To the best of our knowledge, nobody knows outside of town. And like I said, I can get that information, and then I can reach out to the rest of the guild, albeit a brief message, but still, they could maybe get more information from them.
So you're saying we should just basically send message?
Well,
get as much information.
Send Crowan out and fucking tell him to deliver a message.
No, I can send a message.
We have
Like,
sending.
I have
third level. I don't have it prepared, but we both have sending.
I have sending prepared.
It's like a tweeting out to everybody that you know.
Well,
one person that you know.
One person, but
right.
But it's like
so yeah,
short
so
as
you
a
could
tweet.
do that. Yeah,
so let's just speak with Ben.
Yeah.
See if we can get more. Start off with the guild. Go from there. See what their plan is, as of right now.
Yes. I agree with that.
Do you think we should go straight to Ben?
He's the only one that we can definitively say might have the best.
You'd rather talk to the greenhorn?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, the little toe-headed bastard. I don't.
Rudd.
Yeah.
Rudd?
No, I'm just saying like.
His heart's in the right place, but he's.
Sometimes people get.
He's not coming from a place of experience, from my, assessment so far.
The man may be wise.
He could be a tactical savant.
At the very least, Ben's got the years on him. He might know more just off of that
just
basis.
by living in the town.
And potentially might actually make it worth a trip here from Ethan's tract. because he might have been old. He might have been old enough to remember something.
Yeah, we got sidetracked from
And
Ethan's tracks.
That was
so
Ethan sidetracked really hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess we break
Let's do it.
and I guess try and find Ben in all this kerfuffle.
Yep.
Kerflaffy.
All right, so you find the nearest or mostly unoccupied person, the person who looks the least busy, and just ask them if they know where Ben is. And they kind of scratch their head for a moment, thinking. Then they ask somebody else. Then it comes back to you that he is off to the north with Flint right now. Yeah, I mean, they're not far from camp, but they're off to the north.
Okay, let's head that way.
To the
Because
north.
this will put us north. We're east of Arborsdale about half a day, and I mean,
Are they still in the camp? Are they just in the
they're
northern
just
part of the camp?
they're north of the camp, I guess. So we can try and just track them down. Personally, I think less eyes around us, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in that regard, we try and have Crowan maybe.
Yeah, I could
Okay.
have Crone do a surveying.
Yeah, just have him like go ahead of us if you're able to maybe call him down and
Yep.
or have him, I guess, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll have Crowan do some sightseeing, do some eye in the sky. Overwatch.
All right, just in like a circling pattern kind of thing, or
Out. Not so much circling, maybe like a serpentine, looking
So
around,
heading north.
Trying to find them.
Yeah. Trying to find.
are you doing your warging thing, or are you just
No, I'm just letting Crowan telepathically tell me what's going on, what he sees.
okay? Without looking at it immediately, do you know if there's a range on that telepathy? I think it's a mile.
20 feet, I think.
I think it's 100 feet, maybe.
Somewhere there, like 100 at the very least.
I'll look just to be sure. I think it's the first level, so.
Okay, and if it's not listed, are you okay with it being a mile?
I would think so.
Miles okay in my book.
Well, yeah. I guess his book is the one that.
Yeah, I can speak with my familiar within 100 feet.
Okay.
So if we want to go by that, we can. But I'm okay with it being a mile.
Telepathically, you can communicate with him for up to a mile because it is a magical connection.
Okay.
So saith the DM.
Yes.
That's not too game breaking, like at all in my book, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
fine with that. I don't want.
Yeah, so sending him north with those instructions to just kind of survey and look for anything, if he can actually see them, great, but he just generally looking for any place that they might likely be. And it only takes him about 3 minutes to fly north and spot a larger stream where both Flint and Ben are standing by the side of the water right now.
They're by a stream this way,
Lead the way.
and I go to where Crowan is. I tell Crowan just to wait in the tree line.
Station. Blackwell.
All right, so you guys have to bypass a few other things because this is outside of the camp proper. So you don't get there as fast as Crowan did. It takes you about 5 or 6 minutes to walk through the forest, but you do eventually come to the small stream, and you see them on the opposite side. They're both just standing right now talking. Flint has his hands on his hips, and Ben is just standing with a normal sort of posture right now. His feet are in the water, and neither of them are wearing armor.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. I'm just kidding.
Look on your face. That
Just.
was
Oh, okay.
I'm so tempted to take my clothes off.
what she said.
Noisily approach. Just say, Flint,
Ben.
Rudd.
Rod, I see your scud.
We have some questions if you have a moment.
Are you going through the stream up to them?
Should I control water and freeze it for a bit?
The stream is only a foot and a half deep. The current is not that fast. It's a stream.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not too deep, I just, kind of, I guess, if we're approaching from the opposite side, I guess stand on the edge, get their attention before I cross, and I guess just walk across the stream.
Yeah. I'll follow suit.
It only goes up to about your mid shin to knee. Hingman, it goes up to about your waist.
Do you need me to hold your hand?
Nah, dude.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'll
So
doggy paddle if I have to.
finish crossing the stream and walk up to them.
They stop their conversation and turn towards you, and Flint just says, "Did you find good rest last night?"
Chada.
It was pretty good.
Rest was needed. The accommodations were, meh.
I know things are a little tight around here. We're trying to get as many people in as we can, but I appreciate you being generous with your assessment.
Yes. It was a good conversation. We actually had a couple of things that we also needed to speak with Ben about. If Ben was it correct?
And he, you turn and he nods his head and says, "That's correct. My name is Bernard, fully, but I just go by Ben to those who are familiar with me."
Well, pleasure to formally make your acquaintance.
Tip salad help.
So, and I'll just kind of like find the nearest like stump or rock, nearby, and just kind of sit down.
Yeah, there's a larger stone on the side of the stream here.
Yeah, just pop a squat on it, and just more than anything, just kind of like as like a fiddling thing, I'll just take out that symbol of gone that I was working on and just kind of like, absentmindedly kind of turn it around. And as you know, we are quite on the fence about what to do in this situation. I feel we need a little bit more information, and if you'll oblige us, answer some of our questions.
I think we can answer some of your questions depending on what they are. Good. Can't give too much away. I think you would understand, especially if you're not aligned with us. We are still not sure how we feel about this situation either.
Well, I assume the first one is going to be fairly straightforward. The guild. It's been closed down for some time. Yes?
I'd say going on about 4 months now.
What caused it to close? If you don't mind me asking, being guild members ourselves, it's quite odd seeing a station closed in a town, especially of Arbordale's size.
Well, the person who was as far as I know, the person who was in charge of leading that outpost of the guild, LeSean, I believe his name was, is now in Lord Blackwell's pocket. He was offered a suitable position as a means of keeping quiet, an outlet for any word that might get around to somebody who would come and try to interfere with what he has going on here.
So he's taken up residence at Lord Blackwell's abode.
He didn't press the button.
They're still around.
You can talk again. He didn't have the button.
So he has taken up residence with Lord Blackwell, and was there any sort of formal closing of the guild house?
Well, one day it was open, and the next it was being boarded up. The man was bought, and now no operation of the guild is currently occurring in this town.
Did you say it was purchased?
Well, like he was bought off. Is
Oh,
what he's saying.
I thought you meant. I thought you were saying that the building was purchased.
No. Just he was able to offer LaShawn something he gave him a position within his little regime here, and that was enough to tempt him to, fudge the guild business.
So no other guild members were in town. No other members bought off, run out of town, disappeared.
I don't know. I'm not one to have much business with the guild. Never had to put in any requests.
Could I insight check him?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am not very insightful today. Holy shit. I only got an 8.
You're just trying to gauge whether he's being truthful or not.
Withholding anything specifically, just if he seems like he's kind of on the level, but also if he's really
Deceptive.
trying to be like kind of dodgy on the question.
Well, he is to some degree because, they're not willing to completely trust you yet, so they're not going to tell you every single thing they know. But in this case, with your line of questioning, his lack of hesitation on his answers leads you to believe that he is telling the truth. Leads you to believe. With your 8, you're not completely sure. You just think that he's coming off straight.
I'm just like distracted by my fucking little symbol. Well,
We need to know your plan also.
Unless you're going to help us enact it, I don't think we're comfortable sharing that information with you.
But we need to know something.
We need to know what course of action you have for us, because we're putting our lives in danger. We need to know what you would ask of us.
Our lives and the reputation potentially of the guild. So
Then I'd rephrase, what would you have us do for you?
Well, we would just have you be active members in our effort to unseat Lord Blackwell.
and how do you plan on unseating him? There's a lot of people in town, and I know you said that you had the favor of the people, but
how do we know this?
What comes after you take the throne? Will the people be in better hands under your care than they will under Lord Blackwell?
I don't feel much comfortable talking about this any further. And you can see that he's like completely shutting down.
aren't you more actually persuasive?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean like.
Flint has taken a couple steps closer to Ben at his back, just to be closer to the conversation as the questions have steered this way.
All right.
I think I'd like to toss something out there. You gentlemen are aware that I am a paladin, right? And you know that it is my job and my duty to right the wrongs of the world. And if you want my help, I need to know that what you are planning to do is just and right, and not just a desire for power in the throne. And I'd like to toss a little persuasion on that to get them to open up a little bit more.
Okay, go ahead and roll persuasion.
I think he'd also probably
17.
He'd probably be like, persuasion check.
No, we were not aware of your station, but I understand your need for things to be right in the world. I feel much the same personally, but just because we both feel the same way doesn't mean I'm going to tell you everything about our operation.
Okay, how about this? Do you think the people will be better off under your rule than under Lord Blackwell's?
I think it's obvious. I think regardless of who rules, anybody would be better than what our current situation is now.
But are you prepared to like immediately act and react to what has happened once you overthrow him? Or is there just going to be like just standing around trying to figure out what's going to happen now? Is there plans in place to enact certain things as soon as you get in there?
We have had discussions, yes.
Discussions are different than firm plans, though.
Well, it's hard to plan for, after action before the initial deed has been done.
It's true, but the transition is going to be very important.
Yep.
Very true. And
Because there's a large possibility that it can just crumble out of lack of
can I
organization.
Wilson, is it possible for me to just try and send a message? Using sending, because it's
To who?
I was going to send it to. I was going to have sending and send a message to.
Your mommy.
Shit,
Raven?
Graven. Back in.
With sending, can they answer back?
Yes.
Or old buddy Gravy.
Specifically, here I'll get you.
That's all I needed to know. I know that it's like infinite range as long as they're on the same plane and all that.
Yeah, it's unlimited range as long as you. Actually, I think it might actually extend to different planes. Yeah. You can. Yeah, you can do it to other planes of existence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it
then.
enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of the message. So I don't think Graven was that low on intelligence, but just as, I thought it was kind of funny. I send the message. They know it's me, and
They answer immediately.
and can answer immediately.
All right. What message would you like to send?
Well, give me a second here because my tablet kind of shut off. But I'll because I like to cast it. I kind of have to use a length of copper wire. So I just kind of pull that out, and I just like kind of curling it around my hands, just nonchalantly, just looking, kind of focusing on it, and I ask, do you know LaShawn in Arborsdale? And what is the status of the guild in this city? So I can like that of course like that's the message that I focus in my mind. It's not I don't think that I have to speak it.
No, you don't have to speak it.
Okay. Yeah. So I ask him, what's his opinion of LaShawn, and have you heard anything about the guild in Arborsdale?
All right. So you send that message out, and I'll just say this because it might otherwise go unfocused on. Normally, they would be noticing you casting this spell because you took the component out and have to use that for as part of the spell. But since you're already tinkering with your symbol of Gond there, they are not watching what your hands are doing. So to them, you're probably just adding something to the symbol. But as you focus and send that message out across the distance to Graven, a couple moments go by, and it comes back to you in his voice. Ha! LaShawn, that old bastard. Don't let him buy you too many drinks. As far as I know, the guild's doing well out there. No deaths recently, no accidents, so everything should be fine. Tell him I send my regards.